Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered, a UFC and Fanatics original production. And Matt, you know, we got Mike Brown, Alan Jouban both on today.
Yes.
You know how legendary Max Holloway and Poirier's trilogy is, right?
I do.
Saturday's trilogy was such an iconic fight between two legends that Topps now has decided to immortalize the two within the form of cards you can get your hands on. That's right, Matt Serra. Both Poirier and Holloway cards will include sticker autograph chases by the base card of the fighter, and you are immediately going to be entered in for a chance to get an autograph card. Be on the lookout for another chase when you buy Poirier's card. Along with the autograph, some lucky fans are going to have the chance to receive an exclusive short printed card of both Poirier and Holloway. Best thing you can do to stay locked in with Topps on social media. Follow him, Topps on Instagram, TOPPS. And we cannot stress it enough. Head on over to Topps.com, sign up for notifications so you really don't miss out on these amazing elite collectibles because they're only available for a short period of time. And Matt, what a fight, huh? What an amazing, we got Coach Mike Brown here. What an incredible card that was. And that fight, man, could that have ended better? It was
a great card all around, even the early prelims. We're going to get into talking about all
everything,
of them because there's some early prelims that Oliveira, I don't know if you've seen that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. And it
Tremendous.
Just, there's so much to talk about. Do you want to get Mike Brown in and we can even talk about fights?
100%. Love to talk to Mike.
Shoot, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's my height and he's dangerous.
Very dangerous. And a legend.
And
he's only 49. Isn't that crazy? Like
he's younger than me?
I've been hearing Mike Brown's name for so many years, and he's not even 50 years old.
Mike, good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
I love meeting another short king. I can say it because we're the same. How tall are you, Mike?
5'6".
Me too. And Mike, when I first started fighting in the UFC, when they say I'd say my stats, and I'd be like 5'6.5". You got to let the half go. I can't.
True story. Nogueira Minotauro one time told me, he said, "Oh, hey, my brother, you, my friend, are king of the midgets." That's what he told me. But then he goes, no. Matt Serra is king of the midgets.
That's Nogueira? I love Nogueira.
So he has much respect.
I love that he thought of me. That makes me happy. You know?
Yeah, pretty funny, but he's a great guy.
I don't know about you, Mike. I don't mind being jovial and like Tyrion Lannister. Like I wear it like a shield. But I don't like when somebody makes like a short joke, like taking a shot at me, like, because it's kind of like, I kind of want to smack them. But yet I'm jovial about myself with it. How are you with that? Are you with it?
Honestly, it's never bothered me. Never bothered me. Not sure why. Yeah. Never bothered me.
Me neither. But if like a tall, smug guy says something, maybe they don't fuck with you. Mike, you're too nice.
I don't. They're not threatened by me. I think they don't feel threatened by me, so they never shoot at me. I think
that's true. No. I think they should feel threatened. Mike, let me ask you something because you were such a stud as a fighter. I don't know if Jimmy remembers when you were fighting.
Oh yeah, of course.
You watching?
Yes.
When he beat the great Uriah Faber?
You got that Versus Network.
Yeah, beat him twice. Yes.
I mean, now, when you decided you had enough glory, because you got glory, Mike Brown, when you decided when did you say, all right, because I think you got out fairly young, didn't you? When was you?
No, I was 38.
Oh, I'm way wrong. I'm sorry.
I was too weak. I mean, the thing is, they didn't have really my weight class until I was 35. Right. When they merged WEC with UFC, I was like 35, 36 years old. So it was like I was already up there. I had a few fights in the UFC, but I was kind of getting up there. And I had a neck fusion at like 37 or 36, and I had like one more fight. I got knocked out and was like, all right, dude, that's enough for me. So
was that 2013 you stopped?
Yeah, August 2013, yeah. 2 weeks for my 30th birthday.
Was it already in your brain that, all right, I'm going to be a trainer, I'm going to be a coach? Or is that something that just kind of fell on your lap?
No, 100%. I was always like really into the game and a big fan of the sport and really dedicated to the sport. So after I had a neck fusion, I was kind of like coach, fighter for 1 year. I kind of did play both roles a little bit. Didn't really work out. Then it's like, okay, now it's time to move on full time.
Dan Lambert was talking about what an amazing coach you are, and he thinks you're going to be remembered as the greatest coach of all time, or one of them. What do you think makes a bad coach? Like, what is something that you would say that this is something I don't want to do because I've seen this not work?
I mean, there's a lot of things that make a bad coach. A guy not interested, a guy not keeping up with the times. A guy that doesn't evolve. A guy doesn't have empathy for the fighters. But I think the biggest is not staying up to date because the game is evolving all the time, right? Like you could be great one day, but the game will surpass you really quick.
You have like an obsession, and they were talking about how all you have is like, and Kayla Harrison was talking about, all you have is videos on your phone of every position, every possible submission, and you're really lucky you get to kind of live in your obsession, and you don't need to make your living doing it. Like it's not something that you can watch from afar and enjoy. You're in it, and you're still obsessed.
Yeah, just like you guys, you love what you do, and you don't work a day in your life. So I'm happy that I'm around a bunch of great athletes, having fun, dicking around, rolling around, playing with the sport I love, and going on fight trips. That's not a job; it's a hobby.
Yeah, isn't it great that you're able to make this your living? Did you realize when you first got involved? Because I was watching a nice little. Oh, they sent us over to a little short little video of all the fighters talking about you and your journey. Did you? And you grew up. Was it Maine? Where was it?
Maine, yeah.
Maine, yeah. So it's not like you said in the thing. It's not like it's a hotbed for MMA. And
terrible. Well, very. Nobody up there.
And in 90, we got started around the same time, around 93, 94. So it's really like just trying to find your way in a sport that might not even materialize into anything.
No, right. I mean, you did at that time, 100%. You did it for the love, right? Especially for little guys, there was no money in it. You did it because you thought the sport was unbelievable and amazing and beautiful. So that's what you did. I have two Matt Serra stories that I love to tell. I tell all the time. One was that your debut was going to be in Pride, right? That's correct.
Yes, yeah.
And the Brazilian Joel Oliveira got burnt by the pyrotechnics. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Insane, man.
A true story, man.
Every time I fight in Japan, I tell that story. Or I not fight whenever I coach in Japan in Rising, because it's still the same stuff. The big pyrotechnics. I tell that story all the time.
I was backstage about to walk out, and Mark Kerr came running over like, Henzo. And like Henzo's some medic.
Yeah.
And that led to Abu Dhabi, and that led to the UFC. So strange.
Insane.
What's
the
other
the other was when we were at a random like Naga tournament, and you like got in this weird like fight grappling match. Everybody circled around. The cops broke it up. It was just a really. Do you remember this?
That day?
Yeah, I was there. I was grappling in a tournament. I have photos of it. It was really an insane situation. It was really bizarre.
Wasn't that crazy? That was a guy named Travis X, I think they called him.
He was being like a real dick, and you ended up like kind of fighting him, but grappling him. Like it was
he was a really like a 300-pound black guy. He was a big dude, and he was picking on this guy Danny Ives, who's one of Ricardo's guys. So I went over, he directed it at me, and then Kip Kolar, you know him.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, the promoter comes over. He goes, "Hey, you guys want to grapple?" So I had fight shorts underneath. I took them off, and then the police broke it up. That's so funny. You know rare stories.
No, I mean I was there. So, but it was such a bizarre scene. Like it was pretty. But that was when no one knew you. This was before you had ever like became who you are now, and like MMA and stuff like that, became a world champion. But I remember this guy's like super high level MMA, jiu-jitsu. Matt Serra, it was a big deal.
That was wild. That was a wild scene, man. That's
in the 90s, probably.
It was probably 99, 98.
Yeah, something like that.
We lived it, Mike, and look at us now. We made it. We made it through.
Still alive.
You said something interesting in this video too that Matt referenced. You talked about karate and how, like, and like I think the best guy you've coached, you said, was comes from a karate background, and it doesn't seem like karate is as talked about in MMA. What do you think is the cause of that? Why do you think people don't give it as much respect or credit as they should, as they do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and all that stuff?
Well, I think we're used to seeing like the American McDojo karate. That's what we've been accustomed to, right?
Yes.
The little kids wearing black belts and not truly training like a combat sport. But there are places in the world that are treating karate as a combat sport, and those guys have good technique, and a lot of it is applicable to MMA.
The distance management and things like that.
Big time, big time. That's the biggest one. And Kyoji Horiguchi, I think, is the best example. Also Wonder Boy, obviously, is one of the best strikers ever seen in the sport. Incredible.
What do you think the biggest difference is now between guys? I mean, for me, it's just watching guys who are taking MMA, complete MMA from the time they're really young, as opposed to specializing in one thing and then learning everything else. Is that why like these young fighters are so kind of complete by the time they're 23, 24?
100%. Yeah, I think it's that. Starting young is so important. I say this all the time. Learning a language, right? If you learn a language when you're 20 years old, you'll have an accent forever. You learn it when you're 5 years old, you'll be fluent and nobody could ever tell. There's just something about starting young that the brain is being formed. It's almost like you're laying the foundation of how your brain works. If you can start it then, it's a completely different understanding of the game.
After watching that video, another thing that stuck out to me as a guy that's been in the corners too is Mike Brown. You're never looking for the camera. You're always concentrated on your guy. I hear some coaches in there, and I swear, I think they get when that camera gets in their face and they're ready to shoot off a Braveheart speech or some shit they practiced. You're right locked in with your guys. It makes when Jimmy was asking what makes a good coach and a bad coach, one of the things is a guy that's there for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like you build relationships with your guys, and you're there for them, not to get your face in the corner like Paulie, the meat guy sticking his head in Rocky. That's not you, Mike Brown. It's you can tell when it's genuine.
There's some people there definitely put on a show.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like when they're putting on a show, it's like, come on, just do your job, man.
Oh man. Especially if it's like I see sometimes there's like a new coach in there and he'll be like, he'll notice the camera over his shoulder. And I'm just like, guys, stay focused, man. It's not about you.
I'm sure it's pretty bad whenever like UFC comes to film at the gym and they start filming practice. Like I almost don't like it around me, the camera. So I don't talk at all. So they try to film you catching a clip, but it's like I feel even weird with the camera around me like that. So it's like I don't even want to talk.
Exactly.
So
when that coach's cam comes on, is there like a green light that goes on that let you guys know, okay, now they're taping what you're saying?
No. So you don't know that. So that's why that's not a problem. But I hate it when they come to film practice to get for the countdown show.
They want a soundbite.
It's awkward. You're like, dude, I don't want to put on a show right now. I'd rather get out of here. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, right?
What is it like preparing? This Poirier Max fight was incredible. I mean, it was such a great fight. What is it like preparing somebody who it's his last fight? Is there any difference in the lead up? Is there any difference in the tone before the fight, knowing that he's going to retire regardless?
It's a lot less pressure. It's, but I mean, this guy's a serious veteran, right? He knows what he needs to do. He knows what he wants to do, what he likes to do. He'll take advice, but it's like, Dustin's going to be Dustin. And, we knew it was going to be pretty much a striking boxing battle, right? For the most part. So we didn't do a lot of grappling. I mean, it's insane that he was able to get one last guillotine jump in there.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. But, he knows what he's doing. And I just think the pressure was off because win or lose, the future doesn't depend on it. Where normally so much pressure because if you lose, it's like the money you're making is different. The future path is dramatically different and it can be crippling. So I think it was one of his best camps as far as enjoyable. He was in a good mood where he's not always in a good mood. He's grumpy sometimes, pissed off sometimes, but he was actually in a good mood and I think enjoyed it because it's like, okay, especially the last couple of weeks, this is my last wrestling practice. This is my last this, last that. I think it was beautiful. And all the guys were, and he's a popular guy and a lot of people want to watch him. So we would usually stagger his sparring and stuff like a little bit later than everyone else's. We'd still get tons of people to stay around to sit and watch him spar. It was beautiful. I mean, everybody at the gym his peers have so much respect for him. You know, he's a gladiator.
And I know that it's different fighters. Is it typically easier to coach a veteran, a guy who's been through a lot, or somebody who's up and coming?
I mean, I think it's individuals, right? Some guys, you know, like to be coached. Some guys don't. Some guys are on their own out there. Some guys aren't. I think each case is dramatically different.
Well, I was just going to say, only because the fights the other night, and I haven't seen a fighter quite like I saw the other night. I want to ask Mike Brown's opinion. Oliveira versus Phillips, right?
Yeah.
Am I getting that right? Kyle Phillips versus Oliveira?
Yeah.
What did you think of Oliveira?
I didn't see the fight.
Dude.
I was warming up. What number was the fight? Where was
it? Was an earlier fight.
It was the main prelim fight.
Okay, so I was with Marvin. I was with Marvin Vettori just before that, so I missed that fight.
Hey, Mike, when you watch this kid, I no fear, walking with the hands. It's almost like how Yuri Prohaska like trusts his reflexes to go right in the fire and come out. But he's hardly moving away. He's just looking to put his hands and feet on people. Jimmy,
confidence, man. Confidence is so big sometimes, right? Like if you believe in yourself and are fearless and you're young and have the reflexes for it, this is incredible, right? It's dangerous, dangerous, very dangerous.
Well, I was just taken back a little because I'm like because Kyle Phillips had superior footwork and looked more technical. The whole fight, Oliveira walked him down until he couldn't get on the bike anymore. And then his corner was telling him, look, Kyle Phillips's corner is like, look, you got to meet him. Come in with elbows. You can't just keep getting away. He's stalking you. But he couldn't do it, man. That kid, Oliveira, there's something with him, man. It was something to look out for. Tell me about Marvin now. Marvin, so sad losing his brother and everything. It had to be so brutal to even get back into camp and to go through everything after a loss like that. And you know what sucks, man? And another fight that this holds true is with Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. Sometimes you could be in phenomenal shape, have a phenomenal camp. Something happens in the first round, like you get punched or kicked in the nose. And, next thing you know, you're fighting kind of compromised, after the first minute. And that can happen after the first exchange. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to Marvin. So
he was off track and damaged. And also, I think Alan fought a great fight, but it's also looks really bad when you got blood all over your face. Yeah. Right. The fight would have probably looked a little closer, had he don't have blood completely all over his face. Right. That damage really counts.
But Marvin, I mean, the toughness to have your nose flat. He had to feel the crunch. He never got a broken nose before. And you saw it affected him in that first round. And then he came back out and he fought through it right in the fire, not worried about it. He just put it behind him. So.
Oh, that's Marvin. Yeah.
He's a bull. One of the guys said that, Matt. He was a bull. That's what Marvin is. He's a bull.
He's
one of the best chins in the game.
Yeah.
If not the best.
Yeah. And that was an enjoyable fight. I mean, his job's secure. I mean, that was an enjoyable fight. He's always an enjoyable fight.
Right. And it looked good. He got taken down a couple times. Alan's a good grappler, and he was able to shake him and get off and reverse it. So that was good. That was a positive. But I think that he landed some good shots, but I think the nose and he was just a little behind, in the stand up.
Yeah. I also like how Max is such a great guy, and I love after the fight how he just said thank you and then just kind of stepped aside and let Dustin have his night. And he's like, I had to be the villain here, but it's about Dustin. I thought that was great.
As gracious as you could possibly be. He's a really good dude.
And what was Poirier like afterwards? I'm sure his mood was okay. Was he kind of satisfied? Like, all right, it's complete now. It's okay.
He was, and I kind of expected that. I figured win or lose, he was going to be okay with it. As long as, thank God, he didn't get hurt and put away in the first round or something. Because he got hurt and he was in a terrible spot. He was mounted with almost like a body triangle. It could have been over quick. That would have been terrible.
Yeah.
but he's a stud and battled out of it, and then rocked, put some drama to it, knocked down Max and jumped the guillotine. So he got the crowd on their feet. He made it put on a great show. So he was okay with it. He knows, the future it doesn't matter. He's going to be home with his daughter the next day and enjoying life. So nothing's changed.
Even though he didn't get the W, it was a nice send off. Nobody left going, "Oh, I feel bad."
Yeah,
Everybody's happy.
no one felt bad.
He looked happy. Everybody's happy. That's
Great
great.
fight.
Mike Brown, when you're not studying tape, I asked this about all the fighters, but I like, listen, man, I want to know what you're doing too. When you're not in the world, in the matrix, and studying all your stuff, what do you like to do to unwind? And please tell me not watch more fight tape.
Honestly, I travel so much. I like doing nothing a lot.
Books? Do you read? Do you
No,
watch anything on Netflix?
A little bit. I read a little bit. I read books on the plane sometimes. I always have a book with me. But I like to watch movies. I like to chill out. I don't like to, if I can, I don't want to travel if I have a choice, because I travel so much for work. It's like, dude, I would love to stay home for a day.
Yeah.
That's so nice, but
you married, kids, anything or no?
No, I've had a bunch of long-term relationships, but currently right now, nothing. Traveling has been honestly like a major problem for it. Like I've had a lot of long-term relationships, and it ends up like it's always a big deal because I'm gone like half the weekends of the year.
Are you ever able to date in the business? Because it seems like if somebody understands it, if they're somehow in the same life you are, it makes it a little bit easier because they understand it and they don't resent it as much.
No, honestly, I would never want to date anybody from the gym.
Yeah.
And that, like, I almost think that's inappropriate and, not my thing anyway. But also, I don't meet a lot of people, right? It's like the same. You go to the same place every day, and the UFC every time. It's like I don't have a lot of interaction with many different people, and I'm not the most outgoing guy either, to be honest. So. But I'm content.
You're happy, right?
I got a dog, small dog. So that's my.
And I want to ask you about Harrison too, because she was really. It was nice to see her featured in this, and there's all this talk about her and Amanda, and Amanda well. What do you think about this matchup, and how do you think this plays out?
I like it. I hope it happens. This is what Kayla's wanted from the beginning. She wanted to like prove that she's the greatest combat sport athlete, the greatest fighter on the planet. And she knows to do that, she has to fight the greats. And she thought she might not get that opportunity just because of the layout of the sport. But, Amanda retired and it looks like she's willing and wants to come back. So that would be perfect. I hope it happens. I'm not certain it'll happen.
Right.
Kayla is hoping for it to happen, but
well, Amanda's not enjoying retirement. We had her on. She's sick of it. She's bored. Like I think she really wants to fight again. She's not. She didn't sail off to the sunset happily. I think that she's very bored in retirement and wants to fight again.
She's not young anymore either, though, right? Like she's getting up there. What is she? 37, right? Like she's not a spring chicken. I would love it. I think the fans want to see it. She's obviously by far the greatest female fighter ever, right? She's like knocked out nearly every champion there's ever been in the women's divisions. Her resume is incredible. This could be a mega fight. Yes. I think it'd be the biggest female fight in women's history. Obviously, Ronda was an incredible star.
Yes,
but this would be the biggest female fight of all time.
Is it going to be weird at all if that fight does happen? Because I know you worked with Amanda and Kayla. Like you work with Kayla now, but you have worked with Amanda. She has, she's been out of American Top Team forever. Is there any conflict of interest for you?
Not anymore, but yeah, it would be weird for sure. I was with Amanda. I probably cornered her for like maybe 5 or 6 fights, something like this. So, yeah, it would be weird, but it's the fight business, and she wasn't happy with the gym, and she went off and did her own thing.
That's true.
And Kayla has been with us since her very first fight and her whole career, and very loyal. So obviously that's where my loyalty would be. Yeah. And I'd be excited to take that challenge.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
Well, congrats
cool.
on what a tremendous way for Dustin. Again, a killer fight. Even though Max got it was still an amazing fight. Nobody feels bad about it.
Yeah.
It could not have ended in a better way, and everybody just seemed to be in a great mood.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Another beautiful fight.
And Mike Brown, let me tell you, as a guy that knows you a long time, and I know we never really hung out, but we're always very friendly when we see each other. You know, there's people out there that with coaches, and myself too, people like me, people hate me. Everybody loves Mike Brown. You're never going to find anybody say a bad word about this guy, Jimmy.
Right.
Just a nice, just a
You got to look around.
one of the good guys of the sport. You know?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm just happy to see you doing so well. And I'm sure there's more champions that are going to be coming out of your academy.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're a legend, Mike. Thank you so much for coming on. And just congrats on a great run so far.
Thanks. Love the show, guys.
So Mike,
talk to you
thanks,
soon,
Mike
buddy.
Brown.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Take care, Mike.
I wanted to ask a question. It was a coaching question, but Mike is a nice guy, and I didn't want to put him on the spot because he might know. But I wanted
Ask
to ask
me. I'm a prick. Sorry.
But the Costa Kopylov fight was such a great fight. I loved how Paulo fought that fight. I love all those giant right hands to the body. Those fucking his kicks were back. But in between, Dean Thomas even criticized Roman's coach because the guy goes, "You did everything right," and Dean said, "I don't know why he would say that. He didn't do anything right." And I really enjoyed.
It's funny,
but he was from just my novice point of view. I'm like, sometimes I don't think maybe coaches know their fighters, but like, do you think that that's doing a service when you're telling a guy in the third round, like, hey, you got to get this round, but he probably needed the finish. And I think a coach would be better suited to tell him that, no?
Hey, if there's ever a question, you have to say, listen, if he thought it was 1-1, he could say that. It might be 1-1, but you could be down 2. Mm-hmm. We need a big statement in this round. You know what I mean? So if you're like, you just got to put him away, that could discourage the guy too. You know what I mean? You'll be like, oh my God, how am I going to put it? But you got to be brutally honest with him. You have to be brutally honest with him. You can't worry about his feelings. You can't be like Sean O'Malley's coach. You know what I mean? In between rounds, like just making sure the guy's feelings ain't hurt. You got to freaking get in there and let him know the honest truth. Listen, you're fucking blowing it.
Yeah.
Blowing it. He's on you. You got to give him something to respect. You got to get in his face and let him know.
Yeah. And Matt, you pulled ahead of me by one fight.
Oh, I was about to look.
Yeah. You pulled ahead by I got 1 right. You got 2 right.
Thank you.
You Michael, I picked Daniel Zellhuber, and I would say a minute into the first round, he kept throwing that kick and he was trying to like hurt Michael's left arm. And I'm like, it's just this. Michael was not slowing down. Boy, did Michael Johnson look fucking good. Good for
Michael
him.
Johnson.
He looked great.
I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
Because he looked fantastic. Jimmy Crute is my man.
That was an incredible.
What did you pick on that
call? I didn't pick that fight.
What did I pick?
You picked Jimmy by first round sub, and you were right.
I did it. No, I didn't do it. Jimmy Crute did it.
Well, you kind of did.
Well, I picked it. But listen, hey, man, we had him on here, and I could just smell that he wanted us.
He needed a win, yeah.
He wanted a win. He'll take anything. An arm, a leg, a neck.
Yeah. I took Brendan Allen. He is. That was a tremendous fight. But I lost on Dan Ige. I took him by decision over Patricio Pitbull. It was not the most exciting fight, but, Pitbull definitely clearly won that fight. And, Ige's not an easy guy. Ige is a veteran. Ige has incredible defense, high fight IQ. Who did I see make a few really Veretanikov. Wow, did he make a couple of did you watch that fight against Prado?
Oh yeah. And well, he did.
But he still made a couple of. I was surprised he won that fight.
Oh, they both. Honest, no, I wasn't surprised. I liked Prada in the beginning. I liked some of his jiu-jitsu. He made a lot of mistakes too. Yeah, but
Veretanikov, I was shocked. They were even commenting like on certain things. He was like going to the ground when he should have stayed up. He did win, but I thought that Prado's eked it out. But obviously, the judges and Matt disagree.
I like Daniel Rodriguez versus Kevin Holland. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
You know, I was talking to Dean Thomas. He thought that D-Rod looked a little sloppy and with his I didn't think so at all. I liked the way he was throwing those punches to just get a hold of him. He had to throw a punch to the body, into the head, and I thought that was a fun fight.
Yeah.
You know, I was all in on that. Who else did? We talked about Kyler
Phillips. Yeah, against all that.
I called him Kyle before.
Ryan Spann up at heavyweight looked really good against Bresky. I think is how you say his name. That first round sub. So congrats to him. That was also I wasn't sure how he would look at heavyweight. He looked great.
100%. Also, Harley Judas took out Nicole Kalari, which was nice.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Bruno Ferreira looked great. You know, I'm a big submission guy.
Yes,
and he was all over Jackson Mavet.
Every fight was a finish in the prelims, in the early prelims.
Man, it was fantastic.
Let me see.
And then Adam, forget about it. Islam Hadamay. Jimmy.
Dulatov, yeah.
Did you know that the UFC store still has plenty of UFC 318 merch, including shirts from the BMF champion himself, Max Holloway? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, where should they head on over to, Jimmy?
Well, I'm going to guess that, look, if there's someone who considers themselves a diehard Max fan and they want to celebrate Max's victory by checking out his winter tee, it is available, Matt, as we know, through the UFC store. They should head over to UFCstore.com for all of their winter tees, UFC 318 merch, fighter gear. I mean, you want to get it while you still can.
Head on over to UFCstore.com.
Honestly,
hey, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yes, buddy.
Jimmy, after this podcast, I'm jumping on a train to the city to see the premiere of the Fantastic Four. Jimmy, you can't leave now because we have Alan Jouban.
I'm right here.
I'm going with my producer, Kristen Harloff. He got me a ticket. And I'm going to go see before it doesn't come out until Friday.
But Matt, is this an origin story of the Fantastic Four?
I think so. But it's set in like a different alternate Earth type of thing, where like it's almost like the 60s, but future, like retro 60s. Does that make sense? Okay. It's gonna be like almost like a Jetsons world type of thing.
Superhero movies, like, again, I don't love them, but the graphics and the things that they can show them doing are amazing. So they're visually very fun to watch.
Yeah, as long as it's a good, I like some good versus bad, root for the hero, the bad guy's the bad guy. I just hope it's not full of a bunch of woke bullshit.
Dude, I hate the messaging. Any messaging in a movie is fucking annoying.
And Johnny Storm, yes, bring Alan in.
Yeah, please do.
Johnny Storm, Human Torch, used to be a coxman. He was always chasing the women. So I hope they don't
I know, yeah.
Let him go chase. There's nothing wrong with him chasing.
Get a little coos, yeah.
Yeah. Look at Alan. What has he got? A photo shoot after this? Hey, Alan, look at you. You're such a good-looking son of a. You're a good-looking son of a bitch, Alan.
You're too. It must be my lighting. I got good lighting. It helps out.
I'm a secure in my manhood to say that to another guy.
Sure.
Oh my God.
I don't get compliments like that. I was just telling Jimmy that I'm going to see the Fantastic Four tonight, and somebody chimed in that I look like the Thing, and I go, "That's just
wow,
it's hurtful,
fucking wrong and
hurtful. It's hurtful.
But it makes you feel dangerous again, maybe.
I
like a young man again.
I do. And what's up, man? Do you ever miss the cage?
You know what's crazy about that, Matt? So I was talking. I'm blanking all of a sudden. Who was I working with this weekend? Dominic Cruz. Sorry for that. Dominic Cruz and I were working the desk this weekend, and he said something about that a while back. And like this is the first time I brought it up to him, but I said, man, it really resonated with me. He was saying something that he missed feeling dangerous. And I don't know if that does something to you, Matt, but like for me, I remember that feeling of waking up every day, when I'm in my early 30s, late 20s, and just feeling like, God, I could walk around and do whatever I want to anyone in the world. If I really wanted to, like I could just do some crazy shit. And I would walk home sometimes or I'd be somewhere and I'd go, you know what? I'm gonna go like down the dark alley just to see if something pops off because I'm kind of feeling, a little like that. And
Yeah.
I kind of miss that. I don't wake up in the morning and get out of bed and go, man, I wish I was still fighting because my body just is screaming at me. But I miss that feeling of being that kind of in the prime of my life, which I think the golden era in terms of physical peak performance for fighters is that late 20s, early 30s. I do miss those times.
But I feel you're still dangerous, Alan Jouban.
Thank you. I still got to go work with the young guys, and I keep quoting other people, but GSP said it best one time as well, man, where he said, like, I'm not trying to get better at this age, but I'm trying to slow down the process of losing it. And that's what I do. I still go to the gym. I still do jiu-jitsu probably 5 days a week. I still go and spar with some of the young guys a couple rounds, and then I sit back and catch my breath. But once you get to a certain age, it's like I'm trying to slow down the aging process rather than get better anymore.
How old are you now?
Sorry, I'm 43. So it's trying to continue doing it as long as I can.
But you're still in the sport, like in such a great way, doing announcing. Like I think that guys who are able to segue into announcing right from fighting, it's such a gift because you're still there. It's still a vital part of every broadcast. It's not some orbiting part. It's a part that is very necessary for the broadcast to succeed. How long of a break did you take in between fighting and when you started announcing?
Not long at all, but you're spot on, Jim. Like, I mean, so many of us fighters that have had the opportunity to work our way over to the broadcast, I know we all feel so blessed because we're probably the 1% of the fighters that were allowed to do that. All the other guys have to really turn that page and figure out what they're doing next in life. Because when you're a fighter, this is what we're born for this, right? I remember saying, I'm going to die in there. I'm willing to die in there. And then I got to the latter half of my career, the end of it, and I go, I'm not willing to die in there. I've got a whole entire life left. Like this is the fighter chapter, and this chapter's I'm about to turn a page. And so, what's the next chapter for me? Fortunately, Zach Candido, who's the head guy at UFC, he gave me an opportunity for Anderson Silva's retirement fight at the UFC Apex during COVID, 3 weeks before my retirement fight. And I said, I can't turn it down. So he threw me in there with Rashad Evans. We had a great time. I fell in love with it. And fortunately enough, they brought me back, and that's what I've been able to do. And it's helped me in so many ways. It really has, because a lot of fighters, we look for that thing to fill the void, and this helps us do that. And it's also, if somebody asks me, what's your favorite hobby, or what else do you do? I do other things, but really, fighting is kind of my life. Like, this is what I know the most about in the world. I'm decent at a lot of other things, but I know fighting. And so I don't want to start all over again when I can continue elevating my knowledge in the fight game and helping other people understand it. And I think, which I know we're going to get into DP, I'm so happy that he took that step in this direction as well. You fall in love with it, and things build from it, and other things come from it. And it keeps you out there, and it keeps you just kind of like a purpose to get up in the morning and do these type of shows and have these conversations with people that are like-minded like you guys. And I think you should do it. And Dustin went and did it, and he's done a bunch of them since then. And you heard him say during fight week, I hope ESPN will have him back. Well, obviously ESPN will certainly have him back. He's one of the biggest stars that they have on that side of the desk. I mean, people flock to him, and he's got so much knowledge that he could share with the world from behind the eyes of what he's been through in his career.
Isn't it nice too? Like, because you're not in camp, but you still got to watch tape. You still got to look up fighters, but you don't have to look them up in relation to, like, all right, how do I deal with this? How do I combat that? Like, you're able just to watch tape on fighters and then just talk about it. It's such a, I'm sure, a less pressure thing. There's probably more to remember, but less pressure than before when you had to watch tape to survive.
Certainly. The first thing that everybody tells me when they come in, like a lot of guys get auditions. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson got signed recently. Chris Weidman recently got signed. Karate Hottie. All these people, and I was fortunate enough to audition with a lot of them, and they come in and they do it, and they all did fantastic. But they go, damn, this is a lot harder than I thought, right? Because lots of fighters could talk fighting. But when you have people chiming in your ear and you've got to be able to put a bow on it and present something a certain way, or you find a fight that's not that intriguing, but you still have to find a way to say, if they were doing this, I could see the potential there, and without throwing
Yeah.
somebody under the bus. It's kind of
Sure.
an art, and a lot of fighters, they take to it. They go, okay, this is a new challenge, and they have that competitive mindset already. So they bring that competitive mindset from fighting into the broadcast world.
It's not for everybody. I mean, I tried it before, and it wasn't my wheelhouse. I like the podcast.
Okay, you mean that format? You like the longer kind of casual format as opposed to like quick hits and stuff?
That, but also, when you're there and you talked about the earpiece and you got to wrap it up and you got to do this and that, get me out of there. I don't like it. And it's not, and it is an art. I did it once with Rashad Evans and they said I did fine, but you know what? If somebody does a corny joke, I can't do a fake laugh.
You can't.
I'll just look at the camera. I'll just be like,
I love it.
It'll be weird. So I'm not made for that. How did you know when they asked you? Did you even enter? Was that nowhere in your mind about anything with a mic, or did you think like I thought about doing that, but was that a left field?
No, it was completely one of my goals that I wrote down for years and years. Yeah, 100%. It was something I was absolutely working on when I first kind of got into the UFC. Started doing some interviews, and I liked it. And I go, you know what? I'm going to accept any interview that anybody ever offers me, just so I can get good at speaking. And honestly, Matt, I was, I don't know if a lot of us were either, but like I never did drama. I never, I never spoke for a living. That's what I liked about being a fighter. As much pressure as there is of being a fighter, there's also something kind of simple about it that like, I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go train. I'm going to recover. It's like, it's all on my shoulders, but this is what I do. I'm a fighter. I don't have to think outside of the box. And this forces you to think outside of the box and learn new skills. And so I started working on it. And me and KB had a podcast for like 5 years back in the day. And that's where I got my repetitions in. And I would email Zach Candido once a month. I mean, I was so annoyed. I got to the point where I go, this is becoming a lot. I'm becoming overbearing. And I think he's going to just block me. And yeah, but I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. And finally, the Anderson Silva fight was coming up. And so I reached out. I told my wife, I'll reach out one more time. I said, I'm going to email Zach one last time, babe. It's been about a year or two. I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but I just have to tell him, look, I've always been in love with Anderson Silva, like his style. He's a southpaw striker. That's kind of how I was. He was a Black House guy. We trained together. I have a lot of insight. I know everything about his style. I've sparred with him. And so I relayed that to Zach. And sure enough, he liked that pitch. He picked me up. And so the rest was history. So it was something that I always use this, like when I speak to people, like if you want something in life, go and get it. Like make it happen. Like I write down my goals. I give myself a path to get to the goal. And then I try to check it off of the list every single day. And being persistent sometimes will pay off. And it paid off for me, like in that side of things.
And the important thing to remember too, that's right, to get a goal is also be loose with a time frame. Because a lot of times things don't happen in my time and I'm immediately tempted to go, fuck this. But it's like, no, sometimes it's going to happen, but it's a year after you thought it would happen or 6 months later. Like, so the key is also not give up. Don't put like a cement time frame on things. Be kind of loose with the time frame.
That's exactly how it was for me. I mean, I was getting to the point where I was getting deterred and I go, I don't think this is going to happen anymore. But like I said, that one last email got me the job. And again, I think I've been, calling fights or doing the desk for the UFC for about 5 years now. And I absolutely love it. I mean, I think my overall goal would be to be color commentating. They gave me an opportunity this weekend to call the power slap fights, which isn't UFC, but it's still, you're getting reps in there. And it's actually, have you guys been to the power slap, by the way? What are your thoughts on power slap? Because I know you guys will tell me.
My thing is, I like to watch the some of the highlights and stuff, but I get a little weirded out by it because I feel there's no defense to it. Obviously, I think the coin toss is a huge part of that game. Who goes first?
You said the exact thing though, Matt. You go, I like to watch the highlights. That's what it is. I mean, I do the broadcast, but I don't think a lot of people are tuning in for a 5 hour broadcast for this. They're looking for the 10-second knockout swipe. And I think that's where all the viral moments, you go to these things, they're actually a lot of fun. I'm trying to talk you guys into it. But if you ever have the opportunity to go, go and just, take your date, take your wife, whatever, and go have a good time. It's just full of influencers, like these really attractive people all on their phone the entire time because they're live. and they're doing stuff, but it's like a big party is my point. It's kind of the hot ticket in town. It's like open bar, open food if you're in that VIP section. And it's just the pacing of it, knockout after knockout, fight after fight. It's like a big party. So like I wouldn't sit there at home probably and watch a 5-hour YouTube of it. They're fun to swipe, but if you get to go in person, they're a hit. And they made a huge hit in New Orleans, and I'm hoping we get to go back to New Orleans with Power Slap, and hopefully the UFC as well one day.
And you also said that this was such a memorable fight week for you, obviously because it's New Orleans and because of Dustin. What else made this one so important to you?
It was special, and I was trying to dissect it this morning because I'm somewhat biased. Obviously, I was born and raised in Louisiana. I moved back home. It was partly because I drove there with my family. I'm so used to flying, right? I drove there with my family. New Orleans is one of my favorite cities in the world. The energy, the buzz about it. But really, I think what like put the bow on it was just the overwhelming support that everyone had for Dustin Poirier. I've never seen anything like that, where it was just like we've given guys their flowers before. We've had these kind of retirement packages. Anthony Smith had a great one. Michelle Waterson and others had a great one. But to bring an entire show to New Orleans for the sole purpose of one person, of Dustin Poirier, and honoring him and his legacy of his career, it just felt special. They hadn't been to New Orleans since 2015, 10 years ago. I was supposed to be on the card. Daniel Cormier on the card. DC was on the card. Me and DC got moved off of it. DP was the only one that competed tonight, got a knockout. It looked fantastic, but they haven't been back. What I got out of it was everyone I spoke to, like fighters, production people, Dana White, they loved it. They thought it was a fantastic fight week. I think they actually did very well. I saw the gate at the Smoothie King Arena was the biggest gate in the history, over $8 million that they got at the gate right there. And I think there's even like a cap, meaning I was speaking with the commission on a lot of these arenas. They have to split the proceeds from the gate 50-50, or, it's different, but it's around there 50-50. Let's say 4 million goes to the UFC, 4 million goes to the state or the arena. In Louisiana, I heard there's like a $50,000, $100,000 cap. So Louisiana keeps that first $50,000, $100,000, and the UFC gets the rest of it. So if that's the case, if I didn't interpret this wrong, the UFC made $7.5 million pocketed from the gate. So even though they didn't get the $10-20 million up front, the bottom line is it makes sense if they're getting that type of money from the gate, which would then you would think, you see Dana saying, we'll find a way to make them come back. We'll find a way to figure it out. So I'm encouraged that maybe we come back to New Orleans again.
What did you think too? This Paulo Costa Roman Kovalev co-main, because Paulo I think he was 13-0 at one point, then lost 4 out of 5, and you're like, is it in his head? Because guys, look, it begins to play on you, and this devastating. It was a decision, but that fight with Kopylov, man, he looked really good, like better than I've seen him in a long time. What do you think is his next move? And what do you think Kopylov did wrong in that fight, or could have done better?
Yeah, well, I think, I love the call out. He wants Hamzat Chimaev. They've got bad blood. He called him an asshole, a big asshole.
Yeah, said he DM'd his wife or something. Like Chimaev had DM'd. There's something really tasteless.
They've got bad blood. I mean, I don't know if getting back in the win column, one win warrants that, but he's a guy that has name value. He's fought for the title before, and he came off of a nice performance. So I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know if it's an immediate match that he would get, but he starts to be in that conversation. Like we all know, you start creating a backstory and beef. It helps things out, but you're spot on. Like he came into the UFC and he was just like a bruiser. I think he was on a 5-fight win streak with 4 finishes, and then he ran into Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya knocked him out that night, embarrassed him. And my interpretation of it was that he's just been gun shy ever since. He didn't want to get knocked out again. He went on like a 4-fight skid, has some kind of lackluster performances. I think it was Sean Strickland that he just didn't really pull the trigger, and a couple of the other guys where Paulo Costa kind of cut his teeth on being that guy that puts you against the fence and has like T-Rex type of hooks, and he just backs you up and beats you up, and he's like a gritty, dirty fighter. I hadn't seen that in the last couple of fights, but I saw that on Saturday night against Kopylov. And for Kopylov, his was the other. He came into the UFC on a 2-fight skid, then starts just reeling off wins one after another, but the level of competition wasn't really the level of competition that Costa
That's
was
right.
facing. And you just saw that experience and kind of just a physicality kind of take over there for Costa.
I love those giant body punches. I mean, those are just right to the middle of the. I mean, those were just awful. And I'll ask Matt. I'll ask both of you guys this because I thought of it while I was watching. I think the Vettori Brendan Allen fight because they had such bad blood and Costa and Chimaev. Is it easier for you to fight someone that you have very bad blood with that you don't like, or that you're kind of neutral on and have really no feelings at all?
Matt, I'd love to hear your take first, man.
I think it's a lot easier to fight someone as long as you keep your emotions in check while you're in the cage. I feel the preparation for it is going to be a lot more motivated. I only fought a couple of guys that I really disliked, and oh boy, I was counting the days to punch them. So it was just like,
Can you give me one? Can you give me one name, Matt?
Right trick.
Are you past it?
Right trick.
Okay.
Frank Trigg. Somebody else been through some stuff, so I'm going to leave him alone. But yeah, Frank Trigg was a guy that I couldn't wait to smack. And I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm getting paid to smack somebody I would do for free. So that's even, I mean, come on, man. You got guys like Chris Lytle's a sweetheart. And I don't, it's like, I got to do what I got to do. But yeah, what about you, Alan?
It definitely heightened your senses. And I agree, man. I'm on the same page. Like for me, the one guy, I mean, I say the one, but the one that stands out to me was Mike Perry. He was the first guy, you know how Mike Perry is, like he tries to get to you, man. I mean, he was just talking like he was going to break my face in my career, put me to bed, like all this shit. He was relentless, man. And I took it personal. I really took it personal. And luckily I kind of kept my emotions in check in the fight, but I used it the right way. So you have somebody that you have bad blood against, and your worst nightmare is to be posterized, to be on a highlight reel with a guy that you hate. And so that drove me, especially for my story, Mike Perry. When I fought him, he was whatever his record was, 10-0, but he was undefeated. But all of his wins were knockout. Yeah. And I go, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to be face down on the canvas. And I don't want that against a guy that I'm talking shit with right now. I've got to have my best foot forward. I've got to fight smart. I've got to fight tactical. I've got to make him miss and make him pay. And it was one of those, I'll say my best performances, but one of those performances that your coaches at the end, they go, bro, you did everything we worked on. You stuck and you moved. You made them pay you. You mixed in it. It was one of those we went back to the locker room and we were high-fiving each other. And I was so just not only happy for the win, but I didn't want to be face down on the canvas against a guy like that.
I think the reason I asked you guys that is only because the penalty of losing to someone that you dislike or being mounted by someone that you dislike is just probably so frustrating. And when those fights happen, like when at the end of the fight, I always like to see if the guys come over to each other. What were you and Mike like at the end of that? And do you build up some kind of an affection for somebody that you share the cage with, even if because you've just kind of gone through this thing that very few people alive can understand?
That's one of my regrets. It's funny that you bring that up, man. It's like a subtlety that I don't think a lot of people think about. My son likes to watch my fights, and he forces me to watch them sometimes, and I hate it. And that's one of the reasons I don't like to watch it. I don't mind watching the actual fight that much. It brings up fight jitters, and I get a little nervous. But I don't like to see – I was so competitive as a fighter. Like, we're kind of different people at the time. And when I watched that fight with him and Bilal, me and Bilal kind of had bad blood, and the fight was over, I didn't even look at them. I didn't shake their hand. We didn't squash beef. And it's a regret. It's a regret that I have because I watch guys now that handle it so much differently. Dustin Poirier is one of them. You know, I mean, obviously him and Max had great respect for one another, but even guys that he didn't, I'll see guys like that and they're just very humble and they go and they shake the hand of their opponent. They'll go, is it Charles Oliveira? He goes and shakes every coach's hand. Yeah. And I love it. I love it, man. That's something that if I could go back in time, I certainly would have changed. I would have gone back and told Mike, like, thank you for sharing the octagon with me, man. Like, it was an honor. And I would have done the same with Bilal. So, yeah, I wish I would have done that better.
Yeah, but Alan, when you're in there and your mindset is one of kill or be killed, you got to give yourself a little break on that. I mean, I get you. You're a good guy. And you look back at it like, oh, man, and I hear you, but, you know, you're fresh you know, the adrenaline's still pumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, but I hear you though. You're a good dude.
Have you seen them since? Have you seen Mike or Bilal? Because you can always say hello to them now.
For sure. And like we've definitely squashed our beef. You know, like you become a fan of guys. You know, like we were like now. I like looking back. I was like the older guy now. You know, I've been retired for a while now, and watching their careers flourish. Bilal became the champion. Mike Perry became like the baddest bare knuckle dude. So like watching them. I'm so happy for them, but yeah, like now I'm on this side of things. So I've interviewed them a couple of times, and it's like, you know, it's all love and respect. But then they're kind of like, all right, man, I'm tired of talking to this dude Alan. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you know, I got the win over those guys, and we had bad blood. And like, all right, like let's move on. So it's a friendly kind of competitive thing that we have going right now.
Well, Alan, look, you're great at what you do, man, and I'm happy for you that you found this home in broadcasting, and I hope it just continues to grow and you continue to get more and more of the big fights that I know you want. You know, because you're really good at it. So, and it was fun talking to you, man. Thank you.
Maybe movies are next. Maybe I can see you in a fucking action flick like Cyril Gone.
I'm trying, man. I've been doing some small films here in Lafayette. I'm trying to get like Bisbing. This guy, I mean, he shoots a movie. He comes and does a fight. He shoots. The guy's the busiest man in the UFC right now. It's incredible what he's doing. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the time. It's been fun.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Come back on again, okay?
Definitely.
Anytime. Later, guys.
Take care,
Thank y'all.
Alan.
Thanks,
Peace.
Alan.
Good to
Take
see you,
care,
bro.
man.
Take care, guys.
That was great.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
really.
Jimmy,
Yes.
I gotta catch a train.
Have fun.
I'm gonna get a popcorn, some pretzels. I can't wait, Jimmy. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us
Let's
kid.
promote your channel.
Thank you,
the Matt
Jimmy.
Serra. It's just called the Matt Serra channel on YouTube. What do you got coming up, Matt?
Jimmy, first of all, how old are you now, my little buddy?
I'm 57, Matt.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm old.
Just round it up. You're 60?
I know.
No, but it's coming. But listen, you look great. You're doing jujitsu.
Oh, cut it out.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Jimmy, yeah, the Matt Serra channel. I just had Frank Grillo on. I got this Thursday, I think you got what was that? I watched The Accountant too. Jimmy, did I like it? Did I not? Tune in. And then I got Marab I had in studio. I'm gonna air that soon too. So I'm having a great time with that.
Yes, buddy. I'm happy for you. I got Jim Norton Can't Save You. My guest this week is one of Kill Tony's guys, Hans Kim. He's a fascinating guy. Hans, his story is fucking great. Unconceivable is my stand-up special. And I did Rogan a couple of weeks ago, so you can catch that episode, or I'm on a show called We Might Be Drunk. I had a very fun interview with those guys that went up today. So
with Mark Normand.
Mark Norman, Sam Brill. Great guys, two guys I really love. So
I like them too. Tell them I'm available.
I will. I'm sure they would love you.
Hey, Jimmy, we have so much fun, man. I can almost Wednesday's too far away.
No, I would say it's appropriately placed.
Jimmy, I'll be in the city. I'm going to come to your house.
Have fun, pal. You're welcome anytime.
Hey, and listen, I do plan on teaching that up at East Side in the upcoming weeks, and we're going to plan.
Let me know, please.
All right, everyone.
Goodbye.
So much fun, and congrats to Dustin Poirier on a fantastic
great career. Yes, thank you, man. Talk to you soon.
Goodbye, Jimmy.